Yeah, absolutely. I mean, who at this stage in his life can truthfully boast of a free circle? You understand? I think I've done the 9 yards, I've done the 360s. There are days I wake up and I feel I'm 15 years old. I'm naive. I still have so much to learn because it's you keep evolving. It's life in transit. The days I wake up, I feel I'm 65 years old. So it's truly a remarkable life I've lived, you know. It's a life that is bereft of regret, completely void of you know, clamoring for a better day in the past, or you know, something in that nature. It's a life that's been most fulfilling. I think, truthfully, of all the attributes you've complimented me with, including being a broke guy, a wealthy guy, a businessman, I've pretty much done everything. I think of all of them, being blessed is it. I cherish my journey. I love my memory. And I think that's what makes the entirety and the stretch and the measure of who I am. To treat people fairly, truthfully, of everything I've learned in life, it's imperative that you're kind to people. You're kind to yourself as well. There are people, because of it's so easy to know someone that's very hard on themselves. It's so easy to sort of assess the kind of life someone lives or has lived or is living at the moment, because of the outbursts, the comments on social media. It's so easy to know unhappy people and unkind people, or people that have had life deal them a bad hand all through their lives. I on the other hand, I mean, I've been unkind to people. I've had people being unkind to me. At a later stage in my life, I found out that it was imperative in my life that I'm kind to people. And I think that's the greatest lesson I've learned. Life is a circle. You attract what you think mostly of, and what you do mostly of. And if you continually are kind to people, kindness is what you get in return. Goodwill is what you get in return. Open doors is what you get. I see the random person that I've helped people that don't even know who I am. I've helped people I know that will not reciprocate one way or the other. And I think therein lies the everyday spontaneous blessings that come your way, that you know truthfully in your heart of hearts that you did not work for. Life, again, I reiterate, it's an ongoing journey. It's a masterpiece that you can't paint on one canvas. A stroke there, a stroke of sheer stupidity there, a stroke of sheer genius there, a stroke of the mundane, a stroke of the masterful, sometimes a stroke of a bad turn as well. Just the whole point is conclusively keep painting. Okay? I want people to remember me for not the mistakes I've made, but pretty much the legacy I leave behind. You know, I've been in relationships where I was a really young, naive dude, didn't comport himself with the utmost of diligence, and I've been in relationships where, you know, more of my relationship that was not celebrated or was not out in public was amazing. I make a point of being friends with exes. You understand? I make a point of being friends with exes. Rita and I are good friends. Of course, one or two of my relationships ended kind of sadly, but that is not to say that lessons were not learned. And that is not to say that I was at fault, because the one consummate factor is that the man is always to blame in a relationship. But you have to be involved in it to understand that the women play a strong hand as well. It's a two-way street. It's not a one-way street. I didn't date myself. I dated someone, and along the line, obviously, something went wrong, and it doesn't necessarily pan out to be the man's fault all the time. But you know, the media and the larger society, you know, it's so easy to call names, and, you know, point fingers and blame the man in a relationship. So I don't know. Being kind is relative. Sometimes a relationship you can decide amicably to part ways, amicably, and then people always think, okay, the only reason is because the man probably cheated or something. No, it could be just that you're so incompatible. I can term how many relationships I've been in, 2 or 3 of them, that I sat down and I said, listen, this is not going anywhere. I don't feel that particular groundbreaking emotion for you, you know, and I'm sure you don't feel the same way about me. So let's stop now before we get to the point of tolerating each other. I think that is the worst state of being, when a couple get to the point of tolerating each other. You know, so it's not usually my fault, Sam. It's just what happens. I'm the kind of man that I will never come out to speak about people I've dated. You know my records. I've never come out to point fingers and say she did that or did this. So mostly the women were the ones that, you know, came out to say, hey, they've been wronged, and you know, and then people they play the victim, and people think of the weaker sex issue. And naturally, I take the blame. I'm man enough to take the blame, but between us, we know that, yeah, I mean, things didn't pan out as it's supposed to be. And I'm not one to sit around a relationship when we're not happy or when I'm not happy. It's pure self-imposed bondage, and I don't do that. I would never say that. I would never ever say whether I'm married or not, because the person I'm with, I think, is beyond me now. And if I'm ever with anyone, trust me, is someone that has taken the scope and inventory of my life and decided that it's best we go about this in a special way. But I love the obscurity. I love the anonymity. I love the fact that people turn my life right now with so much ambiguity. They cannot, you know, fathom where it's going, who I'm with, or anything like it. It's just the way to live. It's what informs my happiness. You know, I just feel that it is entirely wrong to advertise whatever it is that you're involved in that's personal on social media. The day will come when it will not pan out as advertised, and then the same people you're entertaining will take offense, because one way or the other they will turn into a caricature. I'm not there to amuse or entertain people. I'm here to be happy, and I'm happy the way I am with who I'm with. And you know, so I would, one day of course people are going to wake up and say, oh my God, he's been married for 2 years, we didn't know, or he's had 2 kids. If they find out, fine, I know, but trust me, the layers of I've organized my life in now, you have several layers to go before you find out, and you have to be Sherlock Holmes before you even get to that point. I had this reality TV at that time. Our predominant focus was hits, was ratings. Let everybody stop making it look like I use another intelligent being that's in my circle of endeavor. She knew what she was getting involved in. She understands the business. She's a core businesswoman. We both benefited mileage. We both benefited immensely from the relationship. She had incredible mileage. I had incredible mileage. So, I mean, it wasn't like some random innocent person was brought into a showbiz circle, paraded all around. The first thing people must understand is that I completely hate functions. I begin to sweat. That's what people don't know. I begin to sweat. The hair at the back of my neck rise up. I can't, once there's a crowd, I can't stand it. I don't know how to deal with the public. I still do not know. I'm telling that part of me with all these years has not found a way to relate to a crowd. I was going out a lot. People that knew me understood that something was being orchestrated. That this was just, you know, stimulated TV, and that's what it was. It was structured for a reason. Well, I was going out a lot, going to awards. That wasn't me. That was not me at all. So I mean, the one understanding of this is, one thing you must take away from this is this: the camera works for me. I don't work for the camera. It is what I stimulate in front of a camera, you see. And so in that regard, we sat down and created a show worthy of entertainment for people so they would get their money's worth and their time worth. And so the content of that show, unfortunately, the majority of that content was a relationship. So I couldn't play it the way I wanted. Not in secrecy, not in private and all that. What will I provide as content for my relationship? So the person in question and I had an understanding about it. She's a very smart person. She would never get involved if, you know, she didn't give full authorization. And of course, we signed release forms and all that, and that's what it is. We were in a relationship, Sam. We were in a proper relationship. But I'm saying that if it was that kind of serious relationship, I would not put it in front of a TV. If it was somebody outside our circle, I would not put it in front of TV. But this was somebody in our circle that understood that this play out had to be done for rates. And she did it. Every time I had to go out, I had to be dragged out, literally screaming and shouting. But I did, you know, because we did get the rates that we desired. It's not, let's don't play the victim. She's never played the victim for one day. She's never complained, she's never regretted it. And I'm sure she does not till tomorrow. A proper relationship, between then and now, I've been in over 3 or 4 proper relationships. Did you hear anything about it? That relationship was made for TV. It was a TV generated relationship because we met and we promptly knew that we were plastically not meant for each other. We were so incompatible. But yet, we also understood that within that time, that what we had to do was just hang out. So she wasn't in any relationship, I was not in any relationship, so it was okay to spend some time. Whatever happened between happened. No, so in a way, it was a relationship, but a surreal relationship, you know. It didn't have all the ingredients of an emotional, in-depth relationship. It was a relationship that was fueled and created mostly by the media. You and I know. Do you know that most of the time we were away from each other? You know, I was traveling a lot, she was traveling a lot, we were extremely busy, and that's how it was. Because Rita and I met when I was just beginning to embrace fame. I was beginning to embrace the comforts that came with it, the laurels, the distraction, even the destruction. And Rita is not the kind of woman that hangs around for growth. We were very deep with each other. We still have great friends till tomorrow. We don't speak constantly. Matter of fact, you'll be shocked to understand that I haven't spoken to Rita in over 2 years. You know, but when we meet, we're cordial, we're respectful. There's that deep-rooted thing of a man you share something with and a woman you share something with. Rita is that kind of woman that I don't think Rita at that point too was looking at longevity. Truthfully, Don't forget, I was a kid with the crazy afro, ready to start a fight anywhere. My life was consecrated around just having a good time, and you know, and as many conquests as possible. Who wants that kind of guy? You know? So this question is futuristic in a sense. Fast forward, perhaps 5-10 years from now, I mean where we are at the moment, that question might have had depth, understanding, and will hold water. But then, I mean, what was there to hold on to? Seriously. Are you gonna, I mean, I was partying like a crazy person. I was, you know, she tried to, you know, show me another life and say, listen, there's so much more in you than what you exhibit. People have come to see you in a certain light that's completely adverse from what I see. I promise you that a Rita will not go hang out with a layabout, but she was always like, you're so acutely intelligent, you can't be giving people, you know, you can't be giving people this part of you that completely defeats a man that will not second guess his actions. You understand? It was an eye for an eye at that point. It was, I don't care who you are, I'll chase you down the street. It was crazy. It was that time of my life where I was trying to understand everything that was happening to me. I was uncontrollable. You need that part. You need to unhinge sometimes. Go wild. Sow your wild oats. Jump up and down. Do everything you need to do. Some people never recover from it. Some do. So I sit here before you to say that I recovered. So unfortunately, another time and a place, we could have started looking at that. But I think we've outgrown each other in a sense. I will not see Rita as the person I want to be with now, because so much layers of growth and involvement has happened in our life, and so much in mine. We're much more like strangers than friends now. So yeah, you know, place the same situation, the same space, that time with what I know now, it would have worked. And it's as simple as that. No, she didn't impact that much in my life. No, I told you I was very transitional. Everything was a transcend for me. I just step in, savor the moment, embrace the whatever it was, and then we had a conversation one day. I was the kid with the, I mean, afro that walks in, I won't talk to anybody, do my work and leave. I was seen as a rebel. I was seen as an oddity of sorts. I know nobody could relate with me. I saw colleagues as untrustworthy, as people that they couldn't wait for a moment to backstab you. I don't want to relate with anybody. I think it's panned over my life that till now I haven't even had a proper relationship with anybody in my industry. I'm much more closer to the women, some of them. Kate Henshaw is my sister for life, you know. Tonto, I love with this. I will literally take a gun to anybody that tries to do Tonto harm. Believe me, you know. Rita, I still owe her a certain allegiance, a certain love, but we've grown so apart, I don't even know who she is anymore. I'm sure she doesn't know who I am. So yeah, but the guys, I can't claim one person is particularly close to me, and that's how it is. That's my relationship with her, really. I don't think so. We come from the same circle. She knows too much of what I know, and I think I know too much of what she knows. You need that opposite attraction to survive the kind of life I live now. I want to come in and hear about your day. I don't want to repeat what I've done with you. Okay? I need to learn new things from you. I need you to teach me new tricks. I need to, you know how we men are. I need to be at least, I need to pretend I'm interested in what you're talking about in the evening. A dead giveaway is the fact that I do know what you're talking about. I can fathom it, I can predict it, I can end it. I don't want that kind of life. I want somebody that's entirely different from my world that can bring me to order. The amazing relationship I had before now that it didn't work for a special reason was obviously because of that. You know, I just had to I had to completely. One of the reasons of traveling the world, getting to know yourself, getting older, seeing life in a far more auspicious manner, is to understand truthfully what you want in life. As amazing as something seems, and that's what Rita represents. Please, it may not be exactly what will keep you awake at night and wake you up in the morning. You must go for what will keep you awake at night. I need somebody that will keep me on my toe. I don't need a drama queen. I just need a woman that I don't know what you're going to come with me next week with. I don't know. I want to tax myself intellectually, psychologically, to understand your word. I don't want words I can predict. I don't like anything in my life that's predictable. I'm one of the most unpredictable people you'll meet. You know that. Because I don't even know what I'm going to do next when I step out of here, Sam. So why would I do that kind of situation, create that kind of situation in my life? This is for life. That's why I've not done it yet until it's right. And that's why even if I've done it, I did it right. Because it's for life. I'm happy, man. So it could be that I'm married to the right person now, or I'm about to marry the right person now. Now, then, there was a time in my life it made sense to marry somebody from my circle or be with someone from my circle, and I primarily dated only women in my circle, singers. I've been with a few singles, but you guys didn't know. But never, ever. I'm a gentleman. I don't kiss and tell. So are women in my industry as well. I just felt they're the only ones that will understand me. Okay, that will give me the break of, the benefit of doubt. That will really, really understand me. But again, like I told you, as I grew more conscious and more certain of my path in life, and the understanding that you must always, what I was doing then was reaching within my scope of understanding. What I have to do is reach beyond my scope of understanding, beyond my grasp. And I think that is what is happening to me now. I'm with someone that is beyond my grasp, beyond my scope of understanding. So that I keep studying, I keep trying to understand you, I keep trying to embrace new grounds. It's what keeps me alive, what keeps me happy. It's what keeps me on my toe. I'm who I am, man. I'm my father's son. I can't change who I am. I can't wake up in the morning and say that every day I'm going to be content with being able to predict you waking up, knowing you're going to go and shoot a particular movie, knowing you might come with mood swings, knowing that director is not treating it properly or that producer is not treating it properly, knowing where we're going to invest our money is along this. No. I need you to bring me and make me invest money in something that's completely unfathomable to me and teach me the terrain until I understand it. That's breaking grounds consciously. That's taking me to a higher frontier. That's elevating me. The mundane will never work. If you do everything the fans want, but now, my brother, you'd have set yourself firmly on the path of self-destruction. It's never about the fans. The fans will not even want an outsider to intrude in their life and tell them how to live their lives. And yet they think it's an imposition on you that they deserve to intrude in your life and tell you how to live yours, just because there's a four-corner tube that bears your face. That's wrong. Being intelligent enough, be emotionally intelligent enough to understand that this guy is a human being, this lady is a human being. What cracks you, crack them. What challenges you, challenge them. The difference is that there's absolute scrutiny on someone and you can walk around freely and make your mistakes and do your falling and wake up and nobody criticizes you. That is the difference. So be kind. Nobody knows. But it came some time back and said she has a kid for me, a 12-year-old kid. You remember that time? So I said, this is amazing. That means I probably had that kid. Then I was 32. Was I 30 yet? I was about 30. So if I had a 12-year kid, do the math. Okay, so do the math. So I thought about it and I'm like, okay, here's what we'll do. Pick a hospital of your choosing, any. I'll come there. I'll call my lawyer to monitor proceedings and make sure everything is in order. Let's do a DNA test. If it's my kid, I'll take over from there. My mom was like, wait, she with a fear. My mom at that point was like, my mom was on my case, give me a go and check. And I said, there's one outside. This one is already well packaged. You don't have to change diapers and anything. This one is advanced kid. So everybody in our house, we're kind of excited. Maybe that's not the reaction she wanted. She probably wanted drama. She probably wanted me to come out and refute it or deny it. You know, so I said no. You know, we didn't look for the thing. Bring them. They disappeared. Another minister's daughter, you know that one, the young kid that came out and said she has a kid for me, blah 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 blah. Only to wake up one day and say that she feels her family were neglecting her, and she wanted her voice to be heard, and she had to stir up some drama. Why me? Of everybody, why you go carry my name, put in the matter? The funny thing is that I've never met this person in my life. So yeah, there've been little situations here and there. I'm hoping one of them will be positive to a DNA test, and let me prove the world wrong that I'm running anywhere. And I want kids. I want mini-me's, man. I want to see somebody with my sense of humor, my sense of being, my aggression to goals and all that. It's a thing of blessing, man. I have a little man that embodies all of that every day. I'm trying to catch up. He's so smarter than me. Kids are a blessing. Since I've had him, there's never been any door that's shut in my life. And somebody think, no, man, I don't want to deal with a baby mama drama thing. Give me the kid. I will happily take him or her off your hand. If it's a daughter, I will even pay you. If it's a daughter, one day somebody appears and said, you have a daughter, and I find out the DNA is right. Within my resources, I will pay you. I will come publicly and apologize for not being there, and I'll take my daughter. Well, nobody has showed up, so let's leave it at one. Totally good question. We can't orchestrate some of the events that happen in our lives. That makes you God. Things happen. Are we responsible for it? Yes. Did we have a hand in it? Yes. And that's where there are choices, cause and effects. And that's where we're grown up. And that's where there are responsibilities. I didn't set out to get a baby mama in my life. But there was also a time in my life where I didn't know my left from my right. Everybody forgets that it was that time that I just lost my mom. And I really didn't know what I was doing in my life at that time. There were an array of mistakes. There were so many scores in business that from till tomorrow I still feed from. There were so many wrong business choices as well and decisions that tomorrow I still suffer from because I did everything emotionally that time. And I met her. She kind of understood what I was going through. She's some sort of genius. The girl, I completely say without any shadow of regret or you know of an emphasis that she's probably one of the smartest women I've met. This is how smart she is. I'll constantly speak Ibaranda on the phone. After 2 months, Dee started picking up people. I'm not playing with you. I stopped because she would tell me what I'm saying on the phone. She speaks 6 languages. She's about to get a master's in law, PhD before she's 25. I met an amazing person, okay? And I still say the way it is. You can't have a child with someone and you burden yourself with the yoke of an obligation thinking that it should pan out into marriage. It doesn't work that way. Do you and the person share ideals? Are you on the same path in life? Does she share your dreams with you? Do you share hers? Are you ready to coexist in the same geographical, location? All these are really important questions. Does she see your family? Does she understand your culture? Is she ready to accept your family the way they are? I have a close-knit family. My sisters will be a part of my life for life. Anybody that cannot accept that, there's a problem. Because they will not hinder what you represent in my life as well. 4 of them are married. I still represent what I represent in their life. So anybody that finds that some sort of an adverse attraction has a problem already. So I will not bring my private situation out here and talk about it, but there were a few cases of incompatibility, and as the smart people that we are, we sat down, talked about it civilly. I understood that there was a common denominator, the kid, and we decided to co-parent and be great parents to him. I fall short sometimes, she picks up. She falls short, I try to pick up. He doesn't understand it. When he's able, we tell him how he went down. It's not the end of the world. These qualities are not enough, Sam. I keep telling you that. Without these qualities, you will get married. Why do extremely intelligent men go out there and marry women that are not very bright, and they're in love with them, and you think that works as a chemistry for them? Love. Love surpasses everything. It is what will keep you in your angry state, to forgive. It's what will keep you in your old age to be with her. It's what will pit you against your parents for her. It is what will make you support her, whether she's right or wrong. It is what your children will see and shine and make them confident. A relationship that's bereft of love is dead already. What you're doing is just sowing the patches every minute. If you like, let her have the look and gifts of Beyonce, and they bring some Obama, Mrs. Obama, it will not suffice. I'm a product of love. My parents were together for over 42 years. I have big sisters, I'm the 4th born. How do you think I will settle for less or compromise? They were like day and night. My dad is quiet and erudite, deeply intelligent, very conscientious. My mom is a bull. She shoots and asks questions later. She'll jump into it. She's fearless. My dad will calculate everything, the algorithms, the formula, and still fall short. Their formula worked. The man makes money. My mom didn't have the patience to do the 9 to 5, to subjugate herself to superior power. She was too proud. But my dad knows how to play the politics. But he's not a good businessman. So he makes the money. My mom invests the money because she can't mess with my mom. It was a relationship, a yin and yang, that worked all their life. And you think I don't understand how it works at this point? No. I understand how it works. It has nothing to do with the inner quality in the person. It has nothing to do with the innate quality in the person. It has everything to do with how both of you will survive the long run. Marriage is not a sprint, my brother. All the elements you mentioned are sprints. It's what attracts you up, first of all. What will sustain you is a marathon runner. Because I will lose my breath someday. What will sustain me? How about if she offends me or does something that I can't forgive? And all these qualities begin to fade. What am I going to look at? I have to be in love enough for me to forgive. I will never forgive her because of my kids. Never. I've already proved that I will never marry anybody because of a kid. So basically, it has to be for love. I will take it to the street lingo and say that, man, if she does not push your mumu button, my brother, keep it moving. Nobody has pushed yet. They say I'm too strong-headed. But I've dealt with men that are responsible. How do I meet the people I meet? How do I do business with the people I do business with? How have I survived this long? It has nothing to do with responsibility. Nigerians' context of responsibility is so warped. It's ignorant. They want to judge you, but trust me, they also want to live the life you live. They just don't have the guts to say it. Do you know how many people are in miserable unions out there, put together by their parents? You bring a stranger into your home because you have to marry and keep the money together, keep the connection together, keep the legacy together. And then you bring a stranger, and then the rest of your life you tolerate each other to the end. Your kids come out with twisted versions of life because they never ever experienced love in a relationship. I have friends that tells me that they see their mom once every 3 months. What kind of a mother would do something like that to a kid? not nurture the kid. But they were in the best schools in the world. They go to the best countries. They had the best of life. But they were not grounded kids. They were not wholesome kids. We were wholesome kids. We are the ones that my dad would wake up one day and tell them, okay, how much did I give people last semester? Everybody will holler 20K. So, okay, things don't work out this time. Oh, we're doing 10K this time. Nobody will yab him, will complain, will go to my mom will add another 2K. But guess what? That night, we'll have a party before we leave. We're always happy. We're always chilling. Oh, man, I want that kind of life. I don't want this pseudo setting that is created by the fast-paced world of today that has absolutely no emotion and no depth and no understanding of one another. People marry these days for convenience. It's a union of convenience. Do you know how many marriages break up every day and everybody's yelling marry, marry, marry? How many don't keep? Marriages break up every 5 minutes. And then the others are waiting to break up. They're just afraid of the last breakup. They're waiting to wait one more year before they tear apart too. The women and men are living apart. How many successful celebrity marriages do you know right now? Both the ones that are pretending, the ones that are in it, and the ones that are not pretending well. How many? Some of them are getting it right. Please don't get it wrong. Some have been extremely lucky. A very rare exception. Because they jumped into it. They went with face value. They didn't understand each other. There was no spirit involved. There was no groundbreaking emotion. I don't care, man, if I wake up one day and I'm 60, I haven't found the right person. I believe in it. I'll find it. It's not stopping anything I'm achieving in life. I never know. God is such an architect of events. I don't know. You know, without memories, our life will be a void of context. Seriously. Because memory is everything. I stood there one day and I pulled a kid, my kid, out of that girl. It's an experience that will change me for the rest of my life. I remember the doctor telling me, no, you need to step aside, mister. I said, hey, wait there. They were going to use some apparatus to pull my kid's head out. That dude's head was popping out. Man, I went in. And then at some point, they were going to, I think, stimulate her. They were going to give her some drugs. I don't have the right medical terms. Endorphin or something like that. You know, that was going dead in her legs. I said, wait, there's another way. Every kid that came to my home, I had to speak positively. Every kid that came to my home came through natural birth. My son will not go through a cesarean. I went on there and carried her. I'm telling you, I don't know where I got it from. I just went on that carried her. I told her, babes, they're about to cut you open. That means you're going to have a scar for the rest of your life. Push this baby out. So she pushed the baby out. They got the baby. Held the baby. Caught the umbilical cord. The boy refused to cry. They were there trying to turn him upside. I told them, hold my baby. They held my baby. I give him for Nyash there. I'm telling you, the doctor was in shock. Started crying. It's a life-changing experience. Now, all that, we still didn't end up together. That shows you that it goes beyond so much more. I cannot rule out the fact that tomorrow it might be hard. I don't know how God orchestrates his things. So many times I willingly go with the flow. Especially when I'm confused about certain things. I willingly, when I'm done praying and seeking his face for direction, I willingly go with whatever he subjects me to, and always turns out right. So I can't say never. It could even lead to someone that I completely detest. It could lead to somebody. I'll tell you something that happened. I think about 4 years ago. There's somebody I went out with. We went out in London, and it ended chaotically. It didn't end well at all. I thought this person has to be the representative of Satan on earth. And she probably thought that I was soulless. We ended on a terrible note. Like, it was so bad that she ran, like, reverse into my car. My aunt's car in London. Anyway, fast forward, I had this conference, I had this symposium to do in Minnesota, and I went there. And lo and behold, The assistant professor happened to be her. There was a business course, a short business course I wanted. Happened to be her. You know, at first we were frosty around each other, but you know, I broke the ice. You know, I went in with a charm offensive and say, hey, so you're not my tutor, so what's that gonna be? We had a couple of drinks, a couple of red wine, and we went back to it. And I completely discovered a different person. That my impatience then, my ill temper then, and my ability to judge too quickly did not allow me to see. She just thought this person has so much in him, but is acting like a buffoon. And she would not tolerate it. That was what happened then. You know, I would not let her tell me stuff that obviously, I had a whole entourage I used to roll with. I walk into a mall and I would spend ridiculous money I knew I could not afford. And all she was doing was talking to me like, you need to stop, you're so smart. Stop hanging with these eggheads. Go get your life straightened up, get your financial life straightened up and leave this thing you're doing. And we had fights. So I met her. Of course, the game had changed drastically. She saw that I was on a different path. And it was an amazing relationship. The only thing that didn't work was that she didn't want to have any business with Africa. None at all. She had a terrible experience where she lost her dad, and she just thinks anything with Africa is anti-happiness. And Africa is my life, man. I can't do without here. So a woman that's telling me, you're not going to come back here with me? You're not going to meet my family? Let everybody come down? I'm like, nah. Even where we are, where we're so good together, I said, nah, man. So then, that's another deal breaker. So, I don't know, Sam. How can I know when I didn't tell you anything? But that was a clever move, though. Because an adventure will change your life. We change the way you think. We change how you stand as a man. We change your perspective. Whether you win money or not, you're going to come away a different person. Whatever it is that's been of value in your life will be heightened, will be amplified. And what is a problem in your life will be dealt with fearlessness. So whatever it is as a hindrance stopping you from success is what the adventurer, educates. It's what will teach you how to surmount. Adventurer is a concept of a lifetime. It's a show that comes once in a while in a millennium. And it can only come when there's been a Rubicon of sorts where people don't know where to revert to for common sense. So this is where politics, common sense, education, resilience, and how to be an entrepreneur meets all in one breath. And how to be a survivor, how to be a champion, how to be the boss of your situation, how to take your destiny in your hands. That's what the adventurer does. We made it cheap so that everybody can get involved in it. And I mean everybody. For 1,000 Naira, you go to www.theadventurer.tv and you play this game. Answer a couple of questions. You get it wrong, go back, 1,000 Naira you play. If I tell you for the price of a recharge card that you can change your life, people will sit up and understand. And then again, there's another factor. We take you to some of the most exotic locations in the world. Marrakesh, how many people have been there? Dubai, so a few people have gone, but not where we're taking you. Cape Town, Sydney, Australia, Paris. So these are all the places we are going to take you and completely alter your sense of thinking, your psyche, and what you understand life to be. And by the time we're done with that, I don't know, and hey, don't forget that I keep thinking about it and many things keep popping up. The final selection of 16 get 300,000 Naira in their pocket, whether they win or lose. And the final person takes away $10,000 plus a brand new car and a mentoring along the path of your forte for the rest of your life. Please, somebody tell me any show right now at this moment that can afford you that kind of opportunity. Go to www.theadventurer.tv. Apply with 1,000 Naira. Play the game. You feel You don't answer the questions, go back and play it again. Continue. Continue. You get to the next selection. The final selection is, of course, 200, from there to 50. Then we'll go to boot camp with the 50 and select the last 16. It is the show of the millennium. There's nothing that can change this. And we're going to have the tokens, that's our cards. So the major hotels, major histories, eateries, major malls, major public places, and most of our vendors, the same vendors that apply your cards and all that, and your newspapers, are going to have it. So go to www.theadventurer.tv and you see our list of outlets where you can procure your cards, or go to my page, my Instagram page, Jim.Iyke, and then the same information will be available to you, or Jim Iyke Official, or any of my other producers and executive producers as well. I lined up everybody. From this moment to speak, it's been open for about 2 weeks now, but as we speak now, my next movie is 7.5 Days. My friend Samuel Latunji is a bully. You know, it's trying to force me out of semi-retirement. Samuel Latunji called me and said, hey, there's this movie he wants me to make for him. He's producing it. It's called 7.5 Days. I actually sent the script. He sent the script, I read it. Amazing. And I asked him who wrote it, and he said Joy Isibewajo, something like that. But amazing script. I can't wait for us to bring that to life. You know, the right cast and crew, of course, will give it life. And I'm excited about this one. But apart from that, I'm pretty much just a guy that builds apartments and sells. And if you have a great business idea, please look me up. I'm a harness of ideas. You know, we will find a way and find the funding and make it work. That's what I do right now. So I'm not complaining. Hey everyone, keep your dial on Broadway TV. Please. My name is Jim Iyke. I said it.